Healthy Snacks Meals in the building.
I wasn't even thinking about me being on the show. I wanted to produce something for them.
Cool celebrity. Like if I went to the mall and stuff, people are like, oh,
The thing was, I didn't even know that anybody ever thought I was ugly.
We look like twins almost.
Okay.
She really wouldn't be able
Covering any more subjects related. So that's why you got the raw reaction. This is pathetic. It's pathetic. Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. So we are here to discuss Tasha K versus Cardi B lawsuit update. First, hello everyone in the chat, the mods, the Sweet Pea Diaries subscribers. Hello everyone, and happy Friday. What a way to start off our Friday. What a way to kick off our weekend with some Tasha K versus Cardi B lawsuit update from the Sweet Pea Diaries. Well, you guys know that I'm always gonna have the update, because if I don't do anything, my subscribers will keep me, my supporters will keep me updated. Honey, I was minding my business, doing what I do, get ready to get out of here and start my day. And I got a little birdie DM me saying, psst, 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 Sweet Pea, did you see this shit? Hey, Cocoa Butter Barbie, Shay Bay, Lynn, Alice Morris, happy Friday. Yes, my faithful sweetheart. And I want to shout her out. She knows who she is. Girl, thank you so much. I love you to pieces. If it was not for you, I would not stay abreast to half of these updates. Even though I do my research myself and I go and look at the documents, my girl is always keeping me updated on, because, you know, I live a life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not stalking Tasha K, contrary to what everybody thinks. And my mods, y'all be on point, because the trolls are going to come, because Tasha K has lost the summary judgment. I told you she was going to lose the summary judgment, but everybody told me that I was wrong. Everybody said I didn't know what I was talking about. I was putting up fake documents. Well, I told you, even though she was going to trial, because some of us know what we are reading when we read it. Like I say, my motto is always, and it will always remain, we can read. Hashtag we can read in the chat. We can read. Hashtag we can read. Hashtag the Sweet Pea Diaries. Oh, thank you, Shay Bay. Thank you so much. Okay, it is no surprise. We already knew that. We were already expecting this to come. Hashtag we can read, Tasha K. Hashtag we can read. All lives matter says we can read. Okay. Yes. So we're going to share the documents. I'm going to show you that a judge, the judge that has been presiding over this case, the judge that they said I did not have the signature on the summary judgment, William M. Ray, he denied Tasha K's claims of assault, as well as her counterclaims for punitive damages and attorney's fees. So all of that she was going crazy over last week, y'all know why. This came out yesterday. The judge issued this ruling yesterday. So I don't know why we are just finding out about it today. Why is the Sweet Pea Diaries the one reporting on it today? But see, this is the narrative. When it's Tasha K, if it was her, if it was found in her favor, it would have been all over the blogs. It would have been all over the place, because she would have put it out. No one else is reported on this case. I'm telling you the way the Sweet Pea Diaries is reporting on this lawsuit. No one else has Pacer. They are not subscribed to Pacer. If they are, why did they not report on this summary judgment ruling? You can get court documents. There's a certain access that you can have to see the actual movements that are happening in the case. But to actually view the documents, to actually have the documents themselves, you have to be subscribed to Pacer, and you have to pay a monthly fee for whatever you purchase. So if I view documents piece by piece, I have to pay page by page. My bill sometimes is upwards $440 a month. My bill that I just paid for my Pacer account was almost $500. So it is not cheap to run a YouTube channel. So everybody that's telling me, oh, you're broke, you ain't got this, you broke, boop, boop, all of that, y'all can kiss my ass, because I paid $500 this month to keep my Pacer account, because I heavily depend on it for legal documents. I view a lot of legal documents. I am constantly looking at this case, so I'm charged per piece of document. So, honey, my receipt was $447 this month, okay? So in order to view that, you got to pay, and you got to keep paying every month. This is not something that is free. So I'm just wondering why, hey, this was issued yesterday. The date on this receipt says 7/8/2021. 7/8/2021. It's 7/9/2021. Where are the bloggers? Where are the channels? All of the Tasha K stands and all of the Tasha K channels, where are you? Unwind with Teddy. All of these Tasha K stands, where y'all at? Where are y'all court docs? Where are y'all receipts? Since I don't know what I'm talking about, and I put up fake documents, and Tasha K was going to spank this summary judgment and all of this, it wasn't real. We are here today. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today, 7/9/2021, to issue this old dirty, nasty receipt, all right? To display this old dirty, nasty receipt. Tasha K has lost the counterclaim of assault, and the judge denies punitive damages, legal fees. You get no money, ma'am. So that's what this rant was last week. I told you guys in a live that whenever she rants and goes on a Cardi B binge, it is because the lawyers have told her something that she does not want to hear or digest. And she knows that when the public gets wind to it, she's going to be dragged. I'm going to make sure of it. I'm going to make sure that we expose with an old dirty receipt. So let's get into it. Get my screen together. It was all set last night, CR says. Because this came out yesterday. So whenever you see Tasha K binging on Cardi B and Offset, it is because there is a major update coming in favor of Cardi B, not Tasha K, which is why she does what she does. So basically what happened, we all know that Tasha K has been granted a jury trial, all right? I told you guys, Cardi B issued a summary judgment on behalf of her, and her legal team issued this because they felt like the information and the evidence that Tasha K was putting forth in her defense, it did not substantiate her claims. And Cardi B felt like she could win on those grounds. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to keep it real. From attending the trial, the actual summary judgment hearing in April, I listened to the judge, and I'm going to tell you, Cardi B would have won if this was any other judge. This man does not like Cardi B. This judge does not like Cardi B. And I picked up on it when he basically tried to say that the type of music that she makes and the videos that she does that are provocative in nature, and the fact that she shows her body and all of these things, it basically left her open to be treated this way. He tried to allude to that, although Cardi B's attorney quickly shut that down. No woman deserves to be ridiculed or called names or dragged in the press just because they are sexual in, their videos, and they're sexy, and they show images of their body. It doesn't give anyone the right to insinuate or push a narrative that they're a prostitute or that they have herpes, they put a beer bottle up their private, and they cheated on their husband. But this judge basically played into the narrative that has always been perpetuated upon women, that if you act promiscuous and you look promiscuous, then you are going to open yourself up for that type of behavior. So basically, if you get raped, well, you had on a skirt that was hiked up your ass, so that's why you got raped. It was basically giving very much that. So I kind of knew when I heard how the case was going that day that he was going to let this go to jury trial. Even through him saying that Tasha K he could not understand how she was going to get the videos into evidence, how she was going to do half of the things that it needed to do at a trial with a jury. He even admitted that he didn't see how she was going to do it. He was asking her counsel, how do you propose to get these things admissible? So if it had been any other judge, I really believe that Cardi would have won, and it wouldn't even have went to a jury trial at that moment. But because the judge has already stated that this is going to go to a jury trial, the summary judgment is not fully granted. It is only granted in part. So the case is not over because it is going to a jury trial. However, like I said, the summary judgment is a motion, and it must be answered to. Whenever you enter in a motion, it is paperwork, it's documents, it's part of the case. You're asking the judge for something. It is a part of your defense, your case, if you're the plaintiff. So the judge had to answer to it, like I said. And boy, did he answer to it. So when you go through the whole beginning, because they're going to say that it was fake. So let's start from the beginning. And I'm going to go as fast as I can because it is what it is. You lost. It's a no for the judge, and it's a no for everybody else. It's been a no for me. So, of course, we know who we're here to talk about. So the order is, the matter is before the court on plaintiff's motion for summary judgment, document number 92. Having reviewed the parties' filings, considered the parties' arguments at the hearing, and reviewed the entire record on this matter, the court hereby grants in part and denies in part plaintiff's motion for summary judgment. So when it says grants in part and denies in part, the reason why it is denies in part, because it is going to a jury trial. It is not that he denied Cardi B's claims. He's basically saying there's some claims that I'm going to allow, and the other ones, they're going to go before the jury. Tasha K won nothing in this summary judgment. In fact, everything that Tasha claimed, it was proven that she did not submit enough evidence. I told y'all she wasn't filling out them interrogatories. Instead of her reading and filling out legal paperwork and getting the correct legal representation to do her part, she insisted on ranting and raving on lives, on videos and Instagrams and all of this, going on backup channels, stalking other YouTubers because they're reporting on this case. But I don't see any winos in the building now. They want to drag and they want to troll when we talking about they mammy. Where are you at now when we are exposing your mammy? Where you at? You're welcome. You're welcome, but you can stay in the bushes. You can stay in the bushes. Because I know you want to read this receipt just like everybody else, because your mammy is not going to show it to you. Neither her or Wiley is going to show it to you, but I will. So the factual background, we all know this is a defamation action brought on behalf of Cardi B. Cardi, I'm just going to call you BMA, all right? Brought on behalf of BMA. We're not going to read that name, Cardi B. I love you, boo, but we're going to call you BMA. 4 statements allegedly made by Latasha Transrena Kibi, a.k.a. Latasha Transrena Howard. Plaintiff is a citizen and resident of the state of California and is a Grammy award-winning musical artist, songwriter, and television personality, professionally known as Cardi B. We're going to run that back. Rewind. Plaintiff is a citizen and resident of the state of California and is a Grammy award-winning artist. Okay? Cardi B, she is a Grammy award-winning musical artist, whether you like it or not. She has won Grammys. The plaintiff has a YouTube channel with approximately 17 million subscribers, a Twitter account with approximately 18 million followers, and an Instagram account with approximately 94.8 million followers. So can you see why it was beneficial for Tasha K to insert herself in Cardi B's world? This woman has hundreds of millions of followers. Hundreds of in the millions, but it's hundreds. All right? 100 million people follow Cardi B. So you don't see how this woman clout chased and inserted her way in Cardi B's world and catapulted herself to the Tasha K that we see today. Sounds like a clout chase to me. On September 19, 2018, defendant Kibi published on her YouTube channel a video of an interview she conducted with Star Marie Jones. The interview claimed to reveal information about the plaintiff and was the beginning of the events culminating in this case. In the 16 months preceding the filing of this lawsuit, defendants uploaded at least 38 videos referencing the plaintiff. Here's a timeline of all of the videos. 9/2/18 video contains the statement that the plaintiff prostituted for a living, gives the timestamp. The Jones video, 9/13/18, posted on Instagram Live by Star Marie Jones, claims to have known plaintiff before her musical career and to have worked and lived with the plaintiff in New York. Jones currently promotes herself and her entertainment endeavors through social media. Her Instagram account here's her Instagram account, and it has approximately 26.6 followers. 26.6K, okay? Jones made the statement that plaintiff got herpes. Jones stated, referring to the plaintiff, I guess they were supposed to have sex in exchange for money. The Instagram comment. Shortly after Jones released the Jones video on or around September 13, 2018, Jones also posted comments on her Instagram account to third parties that said plaintiff is just an award Grammy-nominated prostitute running around spreading her herpes. The next video, 9/19. So they made 2 videos on 9/19. Here they are. One of them, Kibi recorded and later published a video of herself interviewing Jones regarding the Jones video on YouTube entitled Exclusive. You know Tasha, she's always got to have an exclusive. Cardi B's ex-friend alleges Cardi B kept a huge box filled with monostat and reveals more. This video has garnered over 4 million views. So now, are you doing a video on Cardi B, but it's not a clout chase because you're just a YouTube blogger that reports on Tasha K. Leave them in the chat. Let them do what they're doing. Don't pay them any mind. They want to distract us. Let them do what they do. Defendant Kibi published a second video entitled Actual Proof Cardi B Knew Her Ex-Roommate Drank, Funky Dineva, and Tamar, Beyonce, but okay, because there's other people, she was talking about in that video. So that's how this goes. It goes on and on and on. I'm not about to go into 38 videos, okay? It gets, as you scroll through, it's just an example of what each video contains. Okay? That's what that is. Now, we get into the plaintiff's complaint, Cardi B. The plaintiff complains on March 21st, 2019. In the complaint, Cardi B asserts 4 claims against Tasha K and Star Marie Jones. Slander per se, libel per se, and false light. She also amended the complaint on July 12, 2019, and added a 5th count for intentional infliction of emotional distress and sought punitive damages and attorney fees. She then again filed a second amended complaint on November 29, 2020. We all know why, because Tasha continued to make more defamatory videos about her. Plaintiff denies the truth of any of these statements regarding cocaine use, herpes outbreaks, and prostitution, among the other statements outlined above. Plaintiff also asserts that the defendant was aware of the probable falsity of these statements at the time and she published them. Thus, plaintiff asked the court to award damages for defendant's conduct and joins defendants from further publishing any other allegedly defamatory remarks and order a retraction of the previously published remarks. So I'm going to tell you, this is where the win comes in at for Cardi B. There are claims that in the summary judgment that the judge approved, and there are ones that the judge denied. And he actually agreed with Cardi B with the intentional inflict of stress. He definitely agreed with that. Defendant's counterclaims. Defendant Kibi alleges that she began receiving threats on her social media account in December 2018, including use of derogatory names and references to gang member connections. She claims to have received these threatening messages on social media and calls on her cell phone from people directed to do so by the plaintiff. This includes Cardi B, Cardi B's fans, and Schemo, who defendant Kibi claims is closely connected to the plaintiff and a member of a violent gang. Defendant Kibi also claims that Cardi B ranted about her on social media, including Instagram live videos, and responded to fans who also made remarks against defendant Kibi. As a result, defendant Kibi claims that she contacted the FBI Atlanta field office and the alleged threats, and that she feared about the alleged threats, and that she feared for her safety. She also contends that she experienced an increase in her stress, anxiety, and depression during this time. Defendant Kibi was also experiencing a high-risk pregnancy and states that she was forced to relocate her family. Based on this information, defendant Kibi filed a counterclaim against the plaintiff on May 8, 2019. Kibi's amended counterclaim was then filed on July 7, 2019. Defendants answered plaintiff's second amended complaint and filed their second amended counterclaim on December 13, 2020. Defendant's second amended counterclaims asserted claims of assault, which she dropped, intentional inflict of emotional distress, punitive damages, and expenses of litigation and attorney fees. Plaintiff filed her motion for summary judgment on December 30, 2020, in which she seeks judgment as a matter of law on her defamation per se claim, her defamation for injunctive relief, as well as her IIED claim. That is this right here. It stands for, intentional emotional distress, inflicted intentional emotional distress. That's what IIED stands for. Plaintiff also seeks judgment as to all of defendants' counterclaims. This motion is now before the court. So then they go all into what a summary judgment is, what do you have to prove, how, you prove it, blah, 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 blah. Then they go into the discussion, and it just goes on and on. This is just all the legal, and I'm not going to read all of that. It's just too much. It's too much. So I'm not going to read it all because it's basically just another outline of why we're here. It's just outlining the case again. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. All right? And so basically, when you get into what the judge is considering, he's basically talking about in here that the case is going to be before a jury. It's going to be before a jury trial. It's going to be for the jury to decide whether or not it was Cardi B in those pictures, whether or not, whatever evidence. That is what all of this talks about. So then as you get to the end of it, when the judge is going to, say whether he's agreeing with it or not, here goes the judge. He says, the question of whether defendant Kibi, wait a minute, is this? Yeah. The question whether defendant Kibi acted with actual malice, namely whether she published the statements with obvious reasons to doubt the veracity of the information of accuracy of her reports, presents several genuine disputes of matter. For example, there's a question of fact about whether Jones was a reliable source for defendant Kibi's statements about the plaintiff being a prostitute and a drug user. Although Jones claims that she knew the plaintiff well and was able to attest to the information she provided to Kibi, whether it was reasonable for Kibi to rely on those representations is a matter for the jury to resolve. So these things that, were also in the summary judgment, that's what these paragraphs are saying, that these are the facts that will be presented before the jury. There are also some facts suggesting that defendant Kibi may have posted and published statements without knowing whether the information was true in the Lovely T recorded call. So that's what they want the judgment to be with the jury. When you listen to this phone call between Tasha K and Lovely T, do you think that Tasha knew that these statements were true? Do you think that she knew that she was publishing them and they weren't true? Do you believe that she was publishing a lie and she knew it was a lie? So that is what is going to be before the jury. Also in that same call, defendant Kibi states that Jones told some truths and she didn't tell all truths. Thus, a reasonable jury could determine that defendant Kibi acted with actual malice when she published her statements. But because a jury could also conclude that defendant Kibi's sources were reliable, the court finds that granting summary judgment on these defamation claims would be improper and that the more appropriate course of action would be to allow the jury to resolve these issues at trial. So this does not mean that Tasha K won. No, we already knew it was going before a jury trial. So if they try to spin it, y'all already know, you've seen the documents here. She won nothing. We will prove and we will continue to show that she lost everything. She won nothing. It's going to be before a jury to decide whether or not you acted in malice, because this judge wants to give you a chance because he doesn't like Cardi B. I listened to it with my own ears. Anyone can tell out of 38 videos that it was malice spewing out of your mouth. But because he wanted to say that Cardi B makes videos that are sexual in nature, and that she basically, because she makes these type of videos, she opened up herself for this type of criticism. Any other reasonable person can ascertain that Tasha K acted with malice. Why else would you make a video and scream and holler and rant and rave about someone stating that they have HPV and herpes, they cheated on their husband, and they're herpes B, they're a stripper bitch, and all of these things because you're jealous of their come up. You are jealous of their life. You jealous that this girl from the projects, girl from the slums, girl from the hood was able to rise up and become the person that she is today. Plaintiff also sues defendant for intentional infliction of emotional distress. A claim for IIED has 4 elements: intentional or reckless conduct, which is extreme and outrageous and cause the emotional distress, which is severe. Plaintiff has only sought summary judgment on the first 2 elements of this claim. So the first 2 is intentional or reckless conduct, and it was extreme and outrageous. A reasonable jury could find that the plaintiff has provided sufficient evidence to prove that defendant Kibi actually acted intentionally or recklessly when publishing the statements in her video. For example, plaintiff pointed to a video of defendant Kibi in which she stated that she had a personal vendetta against plaintiff. This testimony could thus be used to suggest that Kibi had a motive to impugn plaintiff's character and that she intentionally made these crude statements to harm the plaintiff. Additionally, from an objective perspective, the statements that the defendant Kibi made could be considered extreme and outrageous conduct. Georgia courts have held that the conduct must be so outrageous in character and so extreme in degree as to go beyond all possible bounds of decency and to be regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in a civilized community. In order for you to win this, and Cardi B won this count. So the judge agreed that it was so outrageous in character and so extreme in degree, it went beyond all possible bounds of decency. It was regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in a civilized community. Well, we all know that Tasha is not a civilized person. She is not a civilized person, just like her winos are not civilized people, which explains why they are in the chat trying to defend a woman that made defamatory comments about someone having herpes, HPV, without knowing. These are the type of women that are trolling us right now. So ignore them. They're weird. They are mentally insane. They are mentally unstable. Anyone in their right mind. This legal jargon is talking to people that are civilized and are part of a civilized community. Tasha K and the winos are not part of a civilized community, which explains their conduct and their behavior. So ignore them. That's what we do to people that are uncivilized. They are savages. People that are uncivilized are savages and they cannot be tamed. So leave them where they are and let them rot. Despite this stringent standard, the court finds that the conduct at issue might support a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress, and that it is possible for a jury to conclude that the conduct rises to the requisite level. However, a jury could also find otherwise and may conclude that the conduct at issue is not extreme when fully considering these circumstances. Conduct that can be characterized as merely vulgar, tasteless, rude, or insulting generally will not support a claim for IIED. Because of this reasonable possibility, the court finds it more appropriate to deny the motion to this claim. A genuine dispute for material facts exists, and because the plaintiff is not moving for summary judgment on these 2 elements, the jury will be the ones to decide this. The causation and whether severe emotional distress resulted. As such, all issues should be left for the jury's determination. I mean, Cardi B was not even asking for judgment on that. So even if it is denied, it doesn't matter because she wasn't asking for summary judgment on that. That is going to be left up for the jury to decide as well. But we already seen where the judge is going with that. Right? Let's keep it going. Invasion of privacy. The plaintiff did not move for summary judgment on her invasion of privacy claim, nor have the defendants. As such, it will not be determined. It will be determined by a jury trial. The court reserves the right to re-examine this issue again after hearing all the evidence at trial. Punitive damages and attorney's fees. Because the court has denied summary judgment on plaintiff's substantive claims, the punitive damages and attorney fees claims will also remain in the case for the jury's determination. In considering plaintiff's other claims, a reasonable jury could certainly determine that the plaintiff is entitled to receive punitive damages and attorney's fees. That's for Cardi B. That's not for Tasha K. We're going to get to that. That's for Cardi B. They're saying that we're going to leave it up to a jury to decide what the punitive damages will be and the attorney's fees for Tasha K. What she got to pay Cardi. Defendant's counterclaims. Assault. The court grants plaintiff's motion for summary judgment as to defendant Kibi's assault counterclaim. Even viewed in the light most favorable to defendant Kibi, the evidence is insufficient to support her claim. So do you hear how the judge, this is how I'm showing you that this judge is partial to Tasha K. He is not partial to Cardi B because of who she is and what she represents, the type of woman, the sultry sex temptress that she represents. He doesn't like that. He clearly stated that during the hearing that they had in April. So he said, even viewed in the light most favorable to defendant Kibi, he was trying to still give her an opportunity. So he was trying to view it in the most favorable light, but the evidence was insufficient to support her claim. So he's saying if she had provided any type of goddamn evidence, he probably would have been more inclined to rule and say, yeah, maybe it was assault. So we'll put that for the jury to decide as well. But Tasha was not able to prove that they assaulted her. Under Georgia common law, an assault occurs where all the apparent circumstances reasonably viewed are such as to lead a person reasonably to apprehend a violent injury from the unlawful act of another. And as is always required in a tort action, the claimant must prove that the alleged wrongdoer in fact caused the harm to occur. In this case, however, defendant Kibi has failed to do so. First, defendant Kibi has failed to provide any evidence that plaintiff herself threatened Kibi or made her believe that she was going to harm her. Instead, Kibi has only made allegations. Of course, that's what she always does. That others who may be associated with the plaintiff made these threats. And while an individual certainly can be held liable for the tortious actions of another, defendant Kibi has failed to demonstrate here that the threats she alleges occurred were directed by Cardi B or committed by any agent acting on Cardi B's behalf. There is no material evidence linking Cardi B to the threats made from Instagram accounts other than a reference to plaintiff's well-known name, Cardi B. Further, these accounts are inaccessible as defendant Kibi's Instagram page that received them has been deleted and the messages were not saved. Moreover, in messages between plaintiff and Schemo, plaintiff did not direct Schemo to take specific violent action against defendant Kibi. Any argument that she did is mere speculation, unsupported by any evidence thereof. Thus, because defendant Kibi has failed to establish through material evidence that the plaintiff would be the actual cause of any alleged assault, the claim cannot survive. To survive intentional infliction of emotional distress. To survive summary judgment on an IIED claim, a plaintiff must show all four elements. Intentional reckless conduct, which is extreme, outrageous, cause emotional distress, which is severe. While physical impact is not a required element in this absence, the party seeking to assert the IIED claim must show the following: that the conduct in question was directed at her. Defendant Kibi has failed to provide material evidence demonstrating that Cardi B's actions caused Defendant Kibi extreme emotional distress. Defendant Kibi points to threats and intimidation from Cardi B fans as the main source of her emotional distress. Yet there is no evidence that these actions were committed by the plaintiff or otherwise directed by her, as discussed above. This causation has not been established. The court acknowledges that Defendant Kibi may have been in a particularly precarious situation because of her high-risk pregnancy that plaintiff and others knew about. Yet, without proof that these alleged threats and comments were attributable to Cardi B, Tasha K has failed to establish causation, and the court must dismiss the counterclaim as a matter of law. Accordingly, the court grants plaintiff's motion as to defendant's Kibi claim for IIED. Conclusion: for the foregoing reasons, plaintiff's motion for partial summary judgment is granted as to Kibi's assault and IIED claims. Defendant Kibi's punitive damages and attorney fees claims are also dismissed. Let me read that again. Defendant Kibi's punitive damages and attorney fees claims are also dismissed. So that big counterclaim, that major counterclaim that she said on that interview with, who was she just interviewing with? The other clout chaser? What was her name? Where she said she had a major counterclaim. Well, it says Defendant Kibi's punitive damages and attorney's fees claims are also dismissed. Now, when they go to trial, rightfully so, if they want to try to bring up some more fees, I don't know, if they were to try, if she were to magically win this lawsuit, there would be fees that Cardi B would have to pay. But we all know that Cardi B is not going to lose this lawsuit. Plaintiff's motion for summary judgment is denied also to plaintiff's cases. That's saying that they're going to trial. So the claims that are going to trial are the ones that were denied in the summary judgment. Defendant Kibi's punitive damages and attorney fees claims are also denied. And Cardi B's partial summary judgment is granted. So now the judge has not stated, it does not insinuate, do the videos come down immediately? I believe that they're not going to come down right now because they're going to trial. So the videos coming down and all of that action is going to happen once they have a verdict in the case. You know what I mean? Once the case is wrapped up and the gavel, he bangs that damn gavel on his, whatever, the gavel thing. I don't know shit. And that's when we'll have the judgment with the videos coming down and all of that. However, Tasha K cannot make any more videos about Cardi B. I do believe when I was reading this, it may go on to say that is what Cardi B was asking for in the summary judgment, that they stop talking about her, that they stop making videos about her. So we will see if that is what it is, then you won't see Tasha K making videos about her. But the way it is for me, Tasha is so hard-headed, she will continue to make videos anyway. You've been locked in a lawsuit with this woman for 2 years, and you have been still making videos in a lawsuit. Who does that? Who does that? And now you got the battle with Jason Lee. Well, it doesn't look like you're getting any attorney fees. Defendant Kibi's punitive damages and attorney fees claims are also dismissed. Plaintiff's motion for partial summary judgment is granted. So Cardi B won partial judgment partial summary judgment. That's what she asked for. She asked for partial summary judgment. She asked for partial claims to be reviewed. The intentional emotional distress. You're causing me harm. You are purposely lying and putting lies out about me. The judge agreed. So it's going to go before a jury trial. They're going to leave it up to a jury to decide whether or not Tasha acted in malice, whether or not she knew she was lying when she put the videos out. That is basically what the jury is there to decide, period. Now, Tasha K's winos and the people that were in the chat, I ignore them because as a reasonable person, like you heard in this documentation, a reasonable person that belongs to a civilized community cannot rightfully think that it is appropriate to continue to call someone out of their name to allude that they have herpes, that they have a sexually transmitted disease, and that they were a prostitute, they use drugs. But this is what I'm starting to wonder, does Tasha K use drugs? She constantly alludes to that people use drugs. They have STDs. Has Tasha K ever had an STD or used drugs? Because that's her narrative that she places upon everyone. Cardi B took an STD test she does not have. She took a test to prove that she doesn't have HPV or herpes. She also took a drug test. Also, Jason Lee is going to take a drug test to prove that he's not on drugs. So you can't just make allegations. I keep telling people YouTube has gone too far. YouTube has gone way too far. People that are making videos, they have been depending on this to make a living. They have used it as a crutch and gotten rid of their 9-to-5s, and now they cannot pay their bills. It is not my fault that you don't have backup money. Honey, I have multiple streams of income. I have a 9-to-5. I have YouTube. I have a business. I make money all the way around. I am not going to just depend on YouTube. So I don't, Melanin said Tasha's had HPV and admitted it. So see, that is always what happens with people that accuse others of things. It's usually them that have these issues that they accuse other people of. Y'all know how your man constantly accused you of cheating, and then you find out his ass was the one that was cheating. It's kind of like that. You constantly accuse someone of having something. You accuse someone of doing something. Normally it's your ass. You the one that's guilty of what you're accusing. So there you have it, guys. I laid it out all for you in less than an hour. I did the best I could. I did not want to read. It's a lot, but we basically summed it up. Cardi B won the summary judgment. Tasha K lost. She's not getting any money. She is not getting any punitive damages, any legal fees, none of that. She lost, and she did not prove that she was assaulted. Honey, last I checked, when you get assaulted, you have to get hit to be assaulted. You got to be touched, just like the law says. Just like it said in these court documents, you got to be touched in order to get assaulted. The fact that you wanted to try to say you were assaulted through thin air, you had to move, all of this, then you sat up on Jesse Wu's interview and said, everybody knows where I live. Everybody has my address. And they never motherfucker came to my house yet. You constantly tell on yourself in these rants. And what does Cardi B's stands do? They keep screen recording and sending it to the attorneys. So keep going, keep ranting, keep raving, keep doing what you do, because all Barty gang will do is continue to screenshot and send to the attorney. Love you guys. That's all I got. I ain't got no more. Tasha K, girl, you better go get a loan. Shit, you better go out there in Africa and get some of them, sell some of them goats, them cows. Honey, you better go get your people to put up their land, something, because y'all are going broke. With all these lawsuits and all this shit that Tasha got to pay out, y'all gonna be broke before it's all said and done. I love you guys. Y'all have a blessed and beautiful weekend. I'll probably see you sometime throughout the weekend. Love you guys. And be sure to check out my last video, Sweet Pea in 3. That is our new, I want to say segment where we discuss 3 topics, 3 minutes each, and I give you 3 different looks, honey, while serving 3 different looks. Y'all go check it out. I love you guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.